she did not want to be held.
22 degrees right now in the greenhouse.
Welcome to my greenhouse. I just wanted to do a quick little tour of the garden. It is March 19th, I believe, today, and it's finally starting to feel like spring. There are cherry blossoms blooming, my calendula's blooming, the greenhouse is super warm right now, and I planted some stuff, and I've got lots of seedlings growing, as you can see, so I just wanted to show you around.
Over here I've got some dill and some green onion and chives. I also have some purple lady bok choy, which I'm super excited about. I tried to organize my seedlings because I am doing a plant sale, so the ones that are in these clear cups I'm keeping for myself, and then over here the ones that are in the regular seedling trays I am selling. My radishes are looking great. I also have some golden beets coming up that I planted in February. These took a while to come up. I think it's because we had a pretty harsh freeze for where I live. It's not super harsh, but it got to below 4 degrees, so that's pretty cold for germination. So it took a while for these to germinate, but I've been giving them lots of water. I've been fertilizing them because I did not amend my soil. So it's aerated, so that's good, and I did do a soil test, and the only thing that it was really missing was nitrogen, so I've been giving it a nitrogen-rich liquid fertilizer.
In the greenhouse at night, the temperatures have been getting a little around 7 to 8 degrees, which is pretty low for warm weather crops, but during the day it's getting up to like 22 to 25 degrees. So I've been kind of testing individual plants to see how they do for a couple days, to test what plants I can bring out into the greenhouse because I'm running out of room in my seed starting room.
So I brought a tomato and a pepper out here, and these are surprisingly doing really great. They're super strong. They're not damaged at all by the cold weather. I don't know if they're going to be stunted or not, because I guess you don't know that until you actually plant them. But they seem to be looking pretty healthy. Over here I have some marigolds. I tested those out for a couple days and they did great, so I brought some more out here. And then I also tested the sunflowers, and those were totally fine, so I left these out here because they're in bigger containers because they're so big, and they took up a lot of room in my seed starting room. And over here I have some nasturtiums. They're doing great in the cooler weather. It's never getting below 0, so they'll definitely survive any temperature that's above freezing, because they do prefer cooler temperatures anyways. Today I brought out this purple opal basil because I wanted to see if the basils would survive the nighttime temperatures, because I'm struggling to keep up with all the plants that I have and provide them with enough light, so the more that I can bring into the greenhouse the better. Another exciting thing is that we got drip irrigation through our entire garden. It was kind of expensive, but I think it was a great investment. Because we have been spending so much time watering, not necessarily during the early spring because we do get a lot of rain, but since we have this greenhouse, it's obviously not getting rain, so it's been super awesome to have the drip irrigation in here. I do hand fertilize, but you don't have to fertilize as much as you water, especially when you have seedlings. You have to keep up on the watering. The lettuce is looking really great. It's growing a little bit slowly again because I'm lacking a little bit of nitrogen in my soil, but I did fertilize them yesterday with the liquid fertilizer and they're looking a lot better. My Asian greens are also coming out. Over here I have this one. I don't remember what I planted, I just remember that they are all Asian greens. I love the white foliage on this. I don't know what it is. It's probably some sort of bok choy, but I just think it looks so pretty. Some more exciting news, we installed our green stalk planters. So we have 2 of them. They're 4-tier planters, and this one is full of bare root strawberries. I got 3 different varieties. We had a little bit of extra, so we put that in a separate container. But we have 24 strawberry plants in this green stalk. In this one, I planted some herbs, so we have some chives, some cilantro, some dill. On the other side, we have some more chives. I think the other one was actually green onion. And then all of the cells that are empty I planted with different leafy greens. On the bottom I think I planted some sprouting broccoli, so I'm super excited about that, and I really hope that those seeds germinate because the temperatures at night have been pretty cold, as I said before. These 2 beds were not here before. Yep, this is brand new. We ordered a bunch of soil for the one bed, the in-ground bed, because we cleared a bunch of our grass and we ended up trying to even out our ground. And in doing that, we realized that we normally have a pool set up around this area, but we haven't been using it. So we decided to make this entire area planting space. So we have these huge in-ground garden beds now, and I planted this entire garden bed with a whole bunch of cool weather vegetables. The other one is going to be more of a perennial bed. So over here we have a whole bunch of blueberry bushes. It's really hard to see them with the bark mulch on top. But we have drip irrigation all throughout these. This one bed has larger drip tape because it's going to have larger vegetables in it, and then this one has smaller drip tape because we're only going to be growing annuals in this one. So the border of this bed is a whole bunch of root vegetables. Along here I think we have white turnips, and then we have some radishes, turnips around here. All the spaces that don't have bark mulch in it, I planted something there. So over here I think these are also radishes all along this row, and then in the back row I planted a whole bunch of beets, and then along these trellises I planted peas and some cilantro in front of them because I love cilantro and I love herbs. And then along here in kind of the middle area I planted some kale along the front row here. I planted some purple bok choy because I had a couple of starts for myself and I thought I'd plant them. And then I planted some parsley right here and some rainbow tatsoi, just one plant. I just want to see how it grows before I commit to having a bunch of them and having them take up a whole bunch of space. And then I also sowed some broccoli rabe on the two sides of the tatsoi. This is our container garden area. These big bins used to be on the side of our house, but they really did not grow well last year. They did not get enough sun, so I'm moving them onto the deck. This is where I put all of the extra strawberry plants. I really hope that I did not plant them too close together because I have no idea about the spacing, but they seem to be pretty hardy. So I'm hoping that we'll have some nice strawberries here so we can just come out and take some right off the front porch. We have some catnip coming back from last year, super hardy, did not add any nutrients at all. It died back and then now it's growing new leaves and it looks really healthy. Over here we have our garlic. They are coming in nicely. I added some straw mulch because they seemed to be drying out a little bit and I just wanted to make sure that they were protected. I haven't planted anything this year in this bed, but there are some things that are coming back from last year. Right here we have some chamomile. I have a whole bunch of leaf mulch all over this bed. And this bed I planted in the fall, and all of these vegetables and herbs overwintered and they are still growing. We harvested some broccoli the other day. We have some cabbage heading up. I'm not sure if this is actually heading up or if it's just bolting because it looks kind of like it's bolting. If it is, it's fine. I'll just eat the leaves or pull it out. I'm not planning on planting anything in this bed until May, so I'm just leaving it. Bella, can you not? This is my favorite part of the entire garden right now. It is a blooming calendula. I planted it last year and I think this is the Snow Princess calendula and it is beautiful. We've got some cilantro and some parsley. The parsley is not looking too hot right now, but that's okay. I don't need it to last a super long time because soon I'm going to be replanting my entire garden, but we have been using the cilantro pretty frequently. Over in this bed, I planted some China rose radishes right along here where the drip tape is. I planted that yesterday. Obviously, still has not come up, even though I've been checking it. Does anyone else check their seeds that they've sown like a day after or 2 days after and like every day after you plant them until they come up? Because I kind of feel like an insane person when I do that, but I'm just so excited for them to come up, and sometimes they come up quickly. In this weather, I'm not expecting them to, but I don't want to miss their birth, you know? Over here we have some kohlrabi that overwintered from the fall. I've never grown kohlrabi before. I have no idea if this is what it if it's doing well or if it isn't. I'm just gonna leave it until May because that's when I'm planning on planting all of my spring summer stuff. Actually, this bed, I'm planning on planting melons, so I'm not gonna be planting it until June. We also have some kale left over from the fall. This is red Russian kale. We have dazzling blue kale, not looking great because I was impatient and I needed a bunch of kale for a recipe, so I just cut the entire middle off. It's sort of starting to sprout back, but I don't think it's going to make it. But we do have some blue curled Scotch kale. It is going to seed, but that's okay because I will just save the seeds. We also have some Chinese chives coming back from last year. They're also not looking the healthiest, but once the weather warms up, everything will bounce back. We also have a fruit tree on either side of this bed. One side is a fruit mix. It's like a hybrid tree that has, each branch has a different type of fruit on it. This tree has nectarines, a few different types of cherries, a prune, a fig, things like that. I would not recommend getting a hybrid tree like this. It's kind of a hassle to prune because every single branch is so different, and every one of these fruits grows differently and has a different growth habit. So it's looking a little lopsided, but I didn't want to prune off the entire tree. It does have a ton of blooms on it. This is the only branch that produced last year. It produced cherries, so I'm really hoping that it's going to have a lot of cherries on it this year. This is a similar type of hybrid tree. It has 4 different types of apples on it, which allows for some good cross-pollination, so that's why we got that. The apple tree, I would recommend getting a hybrid one if you want to, because they're all different types of apples and it's way easier to prune. It looks a little bit more normal than the other one, but that's okay. You know, you live and you learn. But this one has Braeburn apples, Fuji apples, Gala, and I believe this is Honeycrisp. Yeah, Honeycrisps. This produced about 5 apples last year. This is going to be the 3rd year that we have this tree, so I'm hoping that we're going to get a lot more production off of it.
The cherry blossoms are so pretty. That is it for my garden tour. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.